I know the typical responses for um, issues in the world, um, typical responses such as, you know, I told you so, or, single parent household, or single income, or, typical arguments for, lack of, lack of success or problems in their life. Um, and I can't prevent every issue, right? So I only make these videos to like just to provide a explanation, like whether it's like single parent, um no parent household. I'm just saying the truth that like um it, like um single parent or no parent households, behavioral issues, talking too loud or too quiet, or being annoying, or quote unquote annoying, um, being you know nosy, or irritable. I mean, the irritability of our society is very high. Uh, you know the um uh you know yeah, irritability, uh like being annoying, or being called annoying in class, or um being bullied. Also behavioral issues, like maybe it's something at home, but also it's like reading social cues. So like reading social cues, and having autism and not being able to read social cues and understanding what's going on, that's a significant component of autism. And again, like, if these videos do alter the past somehow, I totally, I totally would commend myself on that, because anything that I could have changed, the past 50, 100, 200, 300 years, if Columbus didn't arrive, preventing issues from me in my life, and things of the sort. And the things I say, they're not comfortable, very difficult conversations. And it's a lot of information for just, one person. So, obviously, I don't know about these doctors, like family doctors, and all that. And of course, like I've discussed, biting the hand that feeds you, and, all that. I just don't even know what to say. Like, if I were to, start a conflict because I was bored, or conflict de-escalation skills, the common, it's a good answer, right? It's a good answer to conflicts abroad and domestic. Again, I don't take responsibility for the actions of my parents. Like, that's on them, right? That was their choice. I came here, right? I came here with one purpose, and one purpose in mind, right? But like, seriously, like, I came here with one purpose in mind. Uh, the English language is demonic. It's cursed. I mean, I've kind of established that. Like, the English language itself is just, it's cursed. The dunya is cursed, right? What the world we live in. I mean, I already mentioned before, but like, the nuclear bomb and nuclear bomb, and GMO food or pesticides in the food and water and all that, to support a huge, large population. Obviously, it's not natural. It's not good. It and I don't know what, like, if the nuclear bomb were to heat, like, change the weather that warmer for Canada, that would obviously be nice, but that's not probably going to happen. I don't know, and I'm pretty scared myself. I'm nervous every single day. If there is an evil in the world, or if there isn't, I don't know if there is an evil in the world, because I don't even know what to say anymore. Because, like, the objective past, right? We see, like, I get frustrated person, like I wake up, and like I have issues waking up. There's like all these problems you have to deal with, and like like and if the reality is a simulation or some kind of like they say that's a simulation, so be it, right? But like, if reality is a simulation, if it's something else and it's something else, and obviously there's this idea that I could be doing worse, I could be doing worse things, other people could be doing worse things, for all intents and purposes. Again, like, if I don't run the world, right, and somebody else does, right, and somebody else runs their own life, right, they run their own life. I'm never going to tell anybody what to do. I know that when I was younger, like, there was a moment where there was like this thing where like there was this thing where like there was this moment where I thought like I was gonna get abducted or something. Like, I was like, it was like this black smoke or something, and like now I get why people are born schizophrenics. I get why people have like these diseases like Klinefelter's, all these other diseases, Klinefelter's, other syndromes, nerval palsy, arthritis, and I feel awful. Like, I don't put the human against the human condition and use that as manpower to fight that war itself. Conflict, I'll just use the word conflict, use that to fight that conflict itself. Because when you're talking about genetically modified food, that means that it's it's genetically modified food. Some of it might not grow on the planet Earth at all. Some of it exists as some of the crops exist as some kind of like they shouldn't exist above a certain latitude or below a certain latitude. Again, like, if I started off on a vegetarian diet, I only walked, didn't use a cell phone, didn't play any computer games, read the books, all that, I am saying that my personal mental health issues could have been prevented. The dunya is cursed, right? But these other creations and these things, these inventions, one or another, right? One or another, these inventions, they were created. I don't know if it was out of curiosity and interest, because some of these are very like complicated things, like complicated inventions, complicated degrees. Like, to get a degree from the University of Toronto at like whatever, that's a pretty complex thing. So I don't know, like, there's a whole bunch of like theories going around. Of course, I want to alter the past personally. Like, I want, to find those actors and find who's forcing them to, make the role in that Hollywood movie, and all the other conspiracies that I can sit and read all day, but I don't get paid to read, and there's no money in that, and I understand that why money is important, and so I just stick to the system as it's written. I stick to the system as it's written in the books. I believe it's worth a value. I believe that by putting in the work and by and I get it. Like, some people like the English language is cursed. I mentioned. I sincerely mean that, right? Like, when I say these things that I say through the phone, I actually mean these things because of the point in time that I and other people are in. I have a lot of like regret, a lot of sorrow. If I were in charge, maybe things would have been different. Maybe people would have been on that vegetarian diet. But then again, the question I ask is, am I altering the person's fate, and would they even listen to me if I told them what to do? Like, because it's this whole idea that this person just doesn't, people don't like being told what to do. They don't like, having to change things. They have something one way, then you rearrange it, and you have to start over, and then these frustrations, and then the door handle's too far, and then you forget how to walk, and like, I'm not gonna again tell people what to do, but just when I look at the past, and I look at how things were, how you know like how things are, right? Like I know, like, thing is, there's dogma, and there's like conflicts that are fought because of like a sociological issue, like because literally someone said something, or someone misinterpreted, someone all that. And those are issues. And then there's other issues that are like like conflicts over resources, or agreements, disagreements, promising someone one thing, and then not following through on the promise. And obviously, like, because of the way the world is and the way intuition is, and maybe some people can already tell what's going to happen before it happens. I don't know if I'm one of those people, but you would need to know that, like, you would need to know certain things, whether you mean that, I will never ever clean garbage, or I'll never ever touch a raccoon because it could have rabies. Those are kind of the crux of the conversation. That's like the crux of the conversation. And again, this is me. Like, I've never, like, I've changed. I've never, I didn't have any help. I do know that in regards to what's it called? In regards to doing this humanly is difficult. Like, because you're making choices. Some of those choices affect other people, and to some extent, people depend on each other to make it through the day, right? So, like, I know the bare minimum, like, of what I need to do. I didn't show up to class today for like school, but like, again, like, if someone, if a group of people somehow got together to build, like the Eiffel Tower, or to create a company like Microsoft, or like all this, like, obviously it gets lost in the wind of sand and time, but like because it gets lost, because it because it gets lost in that. And the thing is, like, the world can't afford any more negativity in 2026. That much I know, right? That much I know. I know, obviously, it sounds cliche. I know, like, I'm not the first one to say these things, and I hardly believe the news stories I read either. And I mean, if there's still someone who does work at YouTube, they wake up every day, and they monitor the servers, or whatever they have there. Obviously, we know about, like, surveillance, mass surveillance. It's overwhelming, and we obviously know that the painter was the reason the Second World War started, and it's the same thing in, like, Canadian academic institutions. I mean, I'm not saying that it justifies any violence, but the painter did what he did because of that. And now we're on the precipice of and